What is going on, faithful? It is your boy Niner Sickness with the Niner Sickness podcast. Good evening, happy Tuesday. I have a great show tonight. I have two awesome guests. We're going to be talking 49er football. I can see you guys coming in. Welcome to the show. Oh my goodness, I'm excited. I'm like a little kid at the candy store. These guests are awesome. They're fun. They have their own podcast that we'll be talking about in a minute. You guys definitely have to check out these guests of mine today. They are fun to watch, and they know their football. What's up, Austin? How you doing, Austin? Welcome to the show, brother. Welcome to the show. Kendrick, how you doing? Welcome to the show. As you know, the way I like to say it is, do me a favor, please make sure to wipe your feet and smash that like button for me. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. Give me a second, guys. Where is it? For some reason, it turned off on me, but make sure to wipe your feet and smash that like button for your boy, Niner Sickness. I appreciate that. As people start coming in, we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to talk 49er football. As you know, we are on a 2-game victory. We demolished the Rams last Monday night. In a short week, we traveled to Florida, cross country, time zone change, and it didn't matter. Kyle continued where he left off, keeping their pedal on the metal and their feet on the opponent's throat by holding the ball, I believe, 13 minutes against the Jaguars. What a way to start. What a way to let the fan know that this is a different 49er team than the team that started the season. Or is it? That's what we're going to talk about today. So with no further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring in my guest. I know you guys did not come to watch me, but you guys came to watch my guest. So I'm going to bring them on. With no further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Angelina Martin and Steph Sanchez. How you doing, girls?
We're good.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Welcome. So welcome to the show. This is my little home show that I do on YouTube. I'm not a big content creator compared to others, but I love what I do. I have fun. So the people will be popping in. Half of them are Latinos. We're always late to the party, but we'll get there for sure. And they're laid back, but they're coming in. What's up, Tom? How you doing, Tom? Welcome to the stream. So, Angelina Martin, I think if I'm not mistaken, you might be just around the corner for where I live. I'm in Riverbank by Modesto. So,
oh my God,
yeah,
you're kidding me.
No, I'm originally born and raised in San Jose, but once I kicked the last kid into college out of the house, me and my wife decided to downgrade and buy a 3-bedroom from a 5-bedroom here in Riverbank. So if I'm not mistaken, I don't think we're too far of neighbors, aren't we?
We are not. I'm right in Turlock. That's crazy. I had no idea you were from Riverbank. We have to hit up a pizza parlor and catch a game together.
Absolutely. Yeah, that'll be awesome. I know you have a paper that you do there in Turlock. And I thought that's amazing. Wow, that's awesome. And I watched one of your videos where Steph was recommending, and she was writing a letter to somebody about getting you credentials at the Niner game.
That was a joke, but yeah, we should definitely do that.
She should, because she brings good luck to the team. So I'm with you. Get this girl some credentials.
Yeah, the joke was I was credentialed at Monday night for the Rams. It wasn't my first time being credentialed, but it was my first time being at a game since 2019, so before COVID. And yeah, I mean, they got their first home win since 2019, I think. So, or no, they had one in 2020, and it was against the Rams too. But yeah, so Steph was like, "You're good luck. We need you at every game." And I was like, "You don't got to tell me twice. I'm down."
Yeah, there you go. Well, see, she has your back, co-host. Yeah, I love it.
Always.
And with credentials, you can go and talk to the players, get pictures, and get the viewers that much needed access, backyard access. I think a lot of us as viewers, we love to know our players, get a feel of our players. I can just see Angelina right now interviewing George Kittle.
Not yet. I have interviewed Deebo Samuel. I've asked questions and pressers before. It's pretty nerve-wracking the first time, but you get used to it. So I'm incredibly blessed to have the job that I do that allows me to do that. And then like the icing on the cake has been starting the 49karats podcast with Steph, because we just have so much fun with it. And we love talking Niners football. Now I get to do it all the time instead of just sometimes. So really cool.
That is awesome. Well, Steph, you are the co-host of, I hope I get this right, 49karat podcast.
Yep, you got it.
All right, good. I'm like a rookie right now. I'm so nervous having both of you on the show. But so you're the co-host. How long have you been a Niner fan, and what made you decide to become a Niner fan, or are you born into it?
Man, I mean, kind of born into it, but as a kid, you're not really watching the games like your brother, your dad. But basically, like my brother is what inspired me to get into the 49ers. I was kind of his shadow a little bit. Like I kind of, I thought he was so cool and I liked everything he did. And one of those things was being a fan of the 49ers. And so, just by being around him, I kind of, just started to be a fan myself. And I started to be a fan around the time they were pretty bad, which is almost all the time. But it was, I want to say, like around the Mike Nolan days. But I didn't go to my first game until the Harbaugh era. So then it kind of took off, right? It just goes to another level when you get to experience your team in person. But yeah, that's how I became a fan. Been rocking ever since.
The Harbaugh
It's crazy.
era.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I feel like Steph and I became fans around the same time because we're around the same age too. And that seems like it was yesterday, the Harbaugh era, but like, dude, it was a really long time ago. It was like over 10 years ago. So it's pretty crazy.
It's funny how you say the Harbaugh era. Right? I became a fan of the Niners before Bill Walsh was on the team.
Wow.
That just lets you know. I mean,
OG.
you guys, both of you guys is probably one of the same age as one of my oldest daughters. So that tells you my age on here. But yeah, I became a Niner fan before 78, before Bill Walsh, the mighty Bill Walsh, came to save the team from mediocrity and embarrassment that it was back then. I made it into the powerhouse that it was with the West Coast offense, and then Joe Montana being drafted in the third round for Notre Dame. Who knows, the chicken legs would have been successful on this. I heard one of you. I like when I bring my interviews. I like to watch videos of them, so I'm probably going to get a lot of segments from your shows. Kind of my homework. You guys were talking a little bit about Jerry Rice. I think something about 1993. You were doing a fun fact or a history date. And I know one of you said you were 2, and the other one said you were 4 months, if I'm not mistaken.
That was me.
So I'm like, wow, I feel old. But I wanted to get, so I put on the Jerry Rice jersey on for that. I want to ask you girls a fun fact question, a history question, and see if you guys know. Do you guys know what Jerry Rice nickname was coming out of college when he came to the Niners?
No, I'd love to know.
This you can't Google this up.
No idea.
I love bringing this up. People try to Google it up there. Either you know or you don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, I know it's way before your time, but they used to call him Fifi. Yeah, because of his hairstyle back in the early 80s. You got to remember the 80s is a completely different from the 90s and the 2000s. But they call him Fifi. So a lot of the old people, Fifi, but fun fact, that's what they called him. And it was Eric Wright, the corner of the Niners, they gave him that name, Fifi, based on his hair. So
that's hilarious.
Because we all know him as the GOAT, right? But a lot of people don't know him as Fifi the GOAT. So I like to call him Fifi the Goat. And people are like, Fifi the Goat? I go, yeah, Fifi the Goat out of Mississippi State. And they're like, what? And they're like, yeah, that was his nickname. And it stuck with him for a year. And then as you know, when you start becoming as good as he was, yeah, people don't tend to call you that nickname no more. You know, you start becoming the GOAT. People they're afraid of you. So he lost that right away. But yeah, that was a fun fact. So Steph, we found out how Steph became a Niner fan. Angelina, I didn't ask you who or how did you become a Niner fan? Were you also born into it?
Yeah, I love how a lot of the times the question is who made you a Niner fan? And like Steph, mine was, in the family, definitely, born a Niner fan, born a Bay Area sports family fan or family of fans, I guess. But I didn't actually start paying attention to football until around the time that they drafted Alex Smith. And
Okay.
that was when I really started paying attention. I think I was in like elementary school, maybe still, or in junior high, possibly going into junior high. So that was when I finally started understanding football. And my grandpa was the one who I remember sitting down with him and him teaching me what a first down was. And I was like, okay, so they have 4 chances to get to the yellow line. Like, I got it. Okay. And so it started with that. And then, as the years go on, you learn more and more, of course. And here I am today, just I live, sleep, eat, breathe football. Really, I used to be a really much bigger baseball fan than football, and now I would say it's about even. So
Interesting. And just out of curiosity, who's your baseball team?
the Giants.
The Giants. How about you, Steph?
Yes.
I don't watch baseball a whole
She's a
lot.
Giants fan.
I am a bandwagon Giants fan. Like I'm not
Yes.
afraid to admit that. I mean, if the home team is doing good, I'll root for them. I'm not as invested in baseball though.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a big, my wife's a Giants fan. I'm a big Ace, Jose Canseco
Nice.
fan. A lot of
Nice.
people, they're like, wait a minute, how can you be an Ace? I go, it's baseball. It's not like I'm a Niner and Raider fan. It's baseball. And then I'm a big, huge Laker fan. And people are like, what? You don't like? I said, no, I can't stand these guys over here in Oakland / Golden Gate, whatever they're called. But I'm a big
There's a lot of
basketball,
those, though.
football, and baseball fan in that order. Hockey is never really, from the fighting's fun, but if I want to watch that, I just go and watch boxing or UFC. But I've never really been a hockey, unless I go to a game. Hockey game's different. That's kind of game you enjoy watching person, but on TV it's like trying to watch golf. It doesn't excite me at all.
Yeah.
So Alex Smith was the guy you guys pretty much grew up watching, coming in, drafted number 1 out of Utah. I remember that draft very with Mike Nolan taking over as head coach and Mr. What's his name? McCarthy, our offensive coordinator that year, and not going with Aaron Rodgers out of California. It's like my niece went to school with him at the time and knew him. Of course, now he don't even know she exists because he's Mr. Popular and
he doesn't talk to anyone.
Just a doctor. So. Who knows doctors, right? But yeah, we went and drafted Alex Smith, and nothing wrong with Alex Smith. Great guy. Guy went through some crazy stuff and pulling through. So I was like, but he's no Aaron Rodgers. But let me ask you guys, and anyone can answer first. Do you think if Aaron Rodgers, because everybody likes to say, well, if Aaron Rodgers would have come to the Niners would have been different. I'm like, well, hold your horses a little bit. The Niners offensive line was trash. The whole team was trash. Now I think Aaron Rodgers still a better quarterback, obviously, but do you think that Aaron Rodgers would have been as effective as he was with Green Bay sitting behind Brett Favre for 3 years or 4 years? Or would he have been different if he would have been thrown into the wolves like Alex with, 5 or 7 different coordinators? I mean, what would have been Aaron Rodgers' future coming to the Niners? People don't look at that. They just see that Aaron Rodgers of today and what he could have done for the Niners. But do you guys think the Niners could have hurt him if he would have been drafted to the Niners?
Go ahead, Steph.
Yeah, absolutely. I think about this a lot actually. And of course, in hindsight, we like to blame the team and like how could they not have picked Aaron Rodgers, but at the same time, I think had he been in the same circumstances as Alex Smith, I don't think he would be as successful. Has there ever been a quarterback that has been successful with so many different offensive coordinator changes and head coaching changes that Alex Smith has seen? Like I don't think so. I think the 49ers would have found a way to ruin him somehow.
Yeah, no, I think that's like Steph said, it's something you think about all the time, right? Honestly, every time you hear Aaron Rodgers' name or see him win an MVP or see him do something spectacular on the field, it's like, God, what if? But yeah, I don't know if if it would have turned out the same because of all of the reasons that you just listed. And it's kind of interesting to think, well, wow, what could Alex Smith have been? If he had maybe gone to the Packers and learned behind one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game in Brett Favre. So I think that's a really cool question. I think someone should write a book about it, an alternate universe where Alex Smith is on the Packers and Aaron Rodgers is on the 49ers. But no, I definitely don't think the results would have been the same. I think we've seen, especially this year, how difficult it is for a rookie to come in and play right away. And I think that, those years behind Favre really gave him an advantage. And I think that Green Bay was just an overall better run organization at the time. And he reaped the benefits of great coaching and a great mentor.
Yeah, I agree. People don't realize is, when you get an opportunity to sit behind a quarterback like Brett Favre, not only do you learn the good qualities of a quarterback, the habits, the training, the effort he puts in and out of each game, but the mistakes that Brett Favre makes, he was able to learn not to make as well. So it's always nice to have a quarterback sit. And so that brings me to a question that I want to ask you ladies. The Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo.
I knew it.
Jimmy is no Brett Favre.
Right.
Okay. So are you really learning anything from me, Jimmy? Not that I'm not a Jimmy hater, but I know what Jimmy does, what he does best, what he's able to do to his potential. The problem with Jimmy is his ability to stay healthy. I think that's the whole reason why the Niners even went and drafted a quarterback was his health, not necessarily his play on the field. Although I think Kyle has gotten a little fed up with some of his character on the field. But I know a lot of fans this year, I've been like, man, start Trey, forget about Jimmy, put in Trey. I'm an old school guy. I believe that if you can bring in a quarterback, even though he doesn't have a great model as a Brett Favre or a Tom Brady for Jimmy, but Jimmy is a pro, and he has played in this league for a while. He knows the good, the right, and the wrong. So I still think that as a young Trey Lance sitting in the sidelines, learning, not having to worry about making all these decisions on the fly, to me, it's a beneficial to him. Now, I know everything is the people tell me, yeah, but Niner sickness, when you learn how to drive, you don't learn by the books. You learn how to get behind the wheel, get the feel out of the car, and you get comfortable with the car so that you can get a better feel of it. So it can go either way. But the question I want to ask, I guess, is do you think having him sit, watching Jimmy, the good and the bad, and not having to be thrown into the wolves is a beneficial to Trey? Or do you think that it would have been more beneficial because of the lack of football time that he has in his resume, would have been easier for him to be in the games and learning the hard way, like you see Fields, you see Lawrence, and you see Wilson and Mac Jones? Any of you guys want to go ahead and start on that one?
Yeah, I think my least favorite thing about this season and talking about Trey Lance is that there's pros and cons like to every situation. I think of course it's beneficial for him to be behind Jimmy Garoppolo, and there were things that you mentioned that Aaron Rodgers likely learned from Brett Favre. That even though Jimmy Garoppolo is no Brett Favre, I think Trey Lance can still learn those same things, like you said, how to be a pro, how to handle criticism. I mean, there hasn't been more noise around a quarterback in the past 2 years, maybe, than Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he's suffered at the hands of the media and the fans and the criticism. And I mean, look at him. He's still going out every single week and competing. He's doing really well right now. And when Trey Lance takes over, there's going to be a lot of expectations on his shoulders. And I think that's one thing he can learn from Jimmy this year and this season is how to handle all of that, because who has really, if there's one thing that I could say, give Jimmy Garoppolo his flowers, is how he's handled all of this. That's at the top of my list. And how, he's still a very humble guy. He hasn't let it show if it has affected him. And I think, game aside and skills aside, I think Trey Lance could really learn from him in that sense.
Very good. How about you, Steph?
Yeah, I go back and forth on this myself, so I definitely see both sides of the discussion here. I feel like even in the beginning of the season, just a few weeks ago, when it felt very grim and like this team was, playing very poorly, I was like, there's no point in continuing to start Garoppolo and just put Trey Lance in at this point. I've since eaten my words, but Garoppolo is playing well at this point, and I think it makes sense for Trey Lance to learn behind him. I think because if Garoppolo's playing well, then he should be the starter, right? I mean, it makes the most sense. There was a lot of veterans on this team that signed one-year deals, and it would almost be a disservice to them to give up on the season, right? As early as I wanted them to, admittedly. But I mean, I'm glad that it's going well, obviously, with Garoppolo, and yeah, I think it makes sense to keep Trey Lance waiting in the wings. Another thing that we've talked about is the fact that there seem to be so many players on this team, in particular some of the veterans and some of the staples of the offense, that have really taken to Jimmy Garoppolo, and they love him, and I feel like it's going to be a little tricky, I guess removing the rug from underneath this team, and because there's a lot of players who really like Garoppolo, and whether we the fans see it or not, I think it's going to be tricky how they eventually do that.
Yeah, and Steph and I were huge play Trey Lance advocates. I mean, we were pounding on the table pretty hard, not as hard as some people, but we were like, I would like to see it. But that was before this was a potential playoff team. And I know everyone has their doubts about, even if the Niners do get into the playoffs, how far will they go? But any given Sunday, any team can win. Any team can put together a dub. So I don't see why, if this team made it into the playoffs, why. I mean, I've seen crazier stuff. I saw the 2019 49ers do what they did, and I didn't think that was going to happen. So I could totally, I'm not ready to throw away the season anymore and start the Rook at this point. Even though I think that everyone can agree that Trey Lance's skill set is more desirable. There's more there than Jimmy Garoppolo, but I think it's going to take, some time. They needed to do this way sooner if this was going to be the path they were going to take. And obviously this wasn't the path they were ever planning on taking. They were never going to play Trey Lance this year. And here we are, 500 team, chance of making the playoffs. So yeah, ride with Jimmy.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I'm old school. I'm all about developing a player mentally, keeping them mentally in the game. You don't want them to lose their confidence. Listen, out of all the quarterbacks that were drafted this draft, let's keep it real. Trey Lance, to me, had the most potential, but had the less experience. and playing, and that would definitely been a type of quarterback you want to develop and instill in. I didn't expect him to play. And Kyle, one thing about Kyle, people love him or hate him, he's been honest from the get-go about Trey. He's not in competition with Jimmy. Jimmy is our starter, and he's developing and working with Trey because he knows that Trey is the future, and he knows he can get wins with Jimmy. It's not like if we didn't have Jimmy, if we had Beathard, okay, or C.J. Beathard or Nick Mullins.
Mullins, yeah.
Okay, throw in Lance. I'm sorry, throw in Lance. Let him learn. But Jimmy is not those type of quarterback. He's not the greatest quarterback, but he's not bad. You can win. Look, we won. Okay, and the only thing that I thought that Kyle got away with is that because he had Trey, he kind of got away from his style of coaching. He was kind of like messing with Trey, messing with Jimmy, and trying to figure things out, see if he can implement, because he was trying to please the fan base, I think. But I think once he realized, listen, what works for us is running the ball, not putting too much on Jimmy's plate, and Jimmy can do the rest. That was the formula for 2019, right? They kept the ball not so much on Jimmy, but when Jimmy needed to rise to the plate, he did, like against New Orleans. But that's something you don't want to do game in and game out. So having Trey learn, and against Arizona, the way we lost, I know everybody and their mamas were going to ask for Trey Lance to come in because they had enough of Jimmy, right? But you guys are right. We turned it around against the Rams. We continued against the Jaguars, and everybody tells me, yeah, but you're supposed to win a team like this. Yes, you're right. You're supposed to beat the Jaguars, but you're also supposed to demolish them the way the Niners did. You're supposed to make sure that a bad team knows they're a bad team and they have no hope of ever winning a game. And the Niners did that. They went in there from the get-go and took control. It wasn't like we were back and forth battling and we just barely won by the skin of our teeth by a field goal by Robbie Gould. We took control. And how do we do that? By running the ball and allowing Jimmy to do what Jimmy does best. And if you notice, when Jimmy is not pressured to do too much, his interception ratio went down. I mean, he hasn't thrown an interception in the last, 3 games? So that's pretty good. And you still have the privilege of having Trey continue to develop, watch, and learn without mentally damaging any of his skill sets or his confidence. I don't know if you guys remember David Carr, the Derek Carr's older brother from Fresno State. Top quarterback, drafted number 1, went to the Texans. Now the Texans offense, completely different, but he went there and just mentally got destroyed, and he can never recover mentally. And no matter how good he was football-wise, he just couldn't get there mentally. And I think that's what they're trying to protect with Trey. So you guys, if I heard this correct, you guys are okay with continue to play Jimmy and allow Trey to learn, correct? If we're winning.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. But I don't want Jimmy Garoppolo to be my quarterback next year. They better figure this out by next year. I mean, at this point, we talked about this on our most recent episode of our podcast yesterday. I know. I'm a hater. No. We talked about this yesterday, though, that at this point, we have to start considering the possibility that Jimmy could be here next season. If that's the case, I'm gonna rock with the Niners always and whoever's at quarterback. But get this kid in. We gave up 3 draft picks for him, let's get it going. Let's do this thing.
You're correct. You're correct. Just real quick, I just want a couple of people that creeped in since we've been on. Lucky, what's up, Lucky? How you doing? Luke Luna's in the house. How you doing, Luke Luna? Moses Martinez, what I like to call our D-back disciple. This gentleman has coached, played, and has 2 kids playing in the secondary, so he knows his secondary stuff. So whenever I have questions about our secondary, this is my go-to guy for information. Welcome to the show. And then we got B-Hop Jones. So how you doing, sir? Welcome. And then make sure I am not missing Roberto Hastings. What is going on, Roberto? How you doing? Welcome to the team. Oh, the queen of the Niner Sickness podcast, Kathy,
Oh, we love
beautiful
Niner Queens.
Sanchez. Yes, she's 70 years young. And man,
No
this woman is
way.
working 2 jobs, okay,
What?
at 70. So, yes, this woman's amazing. I call her the queen of the podcast. Kathy, welcome to the stream. But yeah, so we're winning. We're running the ball. Jimmy's doing what he needs to do. I understand with the new toys, everybody wants to play with the new toys. You can have the nicest car, but if you get a newer car, or you want to drive the newer car, or whatever it is that you get new, at least that's how I am. And you tend to forget about the old, but doesn't mean the old doesn't work. If it ain't broken, why fix it? Now, the Jimmy situation about being here next year, I doubt he'll be here. His money is not going to permit him to be here. It's just way too much money. That money, listen, just keep it 100% real. The way Bosa with 10 sacks so far, he's gonna require a lot of money.
And
Debo is
He should
playing
get it.
crazy football right now. He's going to require a lot of money at receiver. You don't have the luxury to pay Jimmy another year like we did this year. So I
But
think
what
he'll be
team
gone.
has the luxury to take on the rest of his contract? I mean, I know some do,
A
and
bad
some
team.
will need a quarterback next year. But it's going to be really interesting, to see if they're able to work out a trade for him, if they just end up straight up cutting him. Like, I'm super excited to see what happens.
Yeah, this year people don't realize this year Jimmy had a no trade clause in his contract.
Mm-hmm.
So people are like, trade him to this night. Wait a minute, it's not that easy. He has to.
But he could approve it, yeah.
He could, of course. But next year he doesn't have a trade clause, so we can't trade him anywhere, whether he likes it or not, which is a good thing. But let's say nobody wants to take his contract, we can cut him, and we're not going to lose any money for him already because everything was upfront and paid for him, not backloaded. So we can cut him and still save that money and utilize that money in other areas. It's funny. A lot of people are like, cut Jimmy this year, cut him this year. I'm like, don't you understand that you're not going to save his money this year?
Yeah.
The money that you paid him this year is not going to be, you can't use it this year. So why cut him if you can use them to continue to develop? I know fan bases get emotional where, they're emotional fans. They're like, just cut him because they don't like Jimmy. I'm like, hey, use them. I hate to use that word to use, but use them. Continue to take care of your new toy. And then once you run the other vehicle, I love cars, by the way. You run the other car to the ground, then you take out the nice Porsche out of the garage and you sports that, and that'll be Trey in 2022. I know a lot of us were drive-through fans, right? We want everything now. Nobody wants to cook at home. I want to go to the drive-through. I want food now, and they want to see Trey. But it is beneficial for Trey to continue to learn. But I'm with you. Next year, I think this offense is going to be a completely different offense. Imagine the possibilities with Brandon Ayuk, the way he's coming along, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, and then whoever they pick up after. They just picked up, I don't know how much he's going to do, but Devin Funchess to the practice squad. Whoopee! But we'll see what he does. But imagine the possibilities with Elijah Mitchell now being a running game. So next year is going to be fun. Let's just enjoy it week by week this year. Listen, we're in contention of making the playoffs. We're still in it. I'm excited about that, and that's enough for me to be excited for. I don't have to look forward to next year because there's a 2 weeks ago, I don't know about you, but I was frustrated. We were done. We were trash. Yeah. We were going anywhere, and I had to eat a lot of crow. I had to eat a lot of crow. Although I did pick the Niners to beat the Rams, only because of the history of McVay and Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan is McVay's daddy. He owns him. Okay. Those meetings they're going around. Who's your daddy? Kyle Shanahan is, but he knows how to take out AD out of the equation. He knows how to game plan for the Rams. I did not expect a blowout like 31-10 dominance. No. I did not expect that, but I did expect us to win. Not to say that the Rams would have won, but I expected the Niners to win. I just enjoyed the blowout. I have a Rams fan. His name is they call him the Rami Familia fan, and he hates the Niners with a passion. I don't hate the Rams as much as he hates the Niners, but I do get a kick. I do get a kick out of it when he has to kind of swallow the fifth time. Can you imagine being a Rams fan hating the Niners, and for the fifth time you got to sit there and swallow the pill, and you have to wait till the end of the year, hopefully. And how much confidence do Ram fans really have in beating the Niners in the last week?
None.
Not much. Yeah. So I thought that was just hilarious that he has to swallow that pill. That's why I swear I don't know. You guys are younger. I just like the Cowboys because of the era of back in the 80s. It was just the Niners and Cowboys. It didn't matter who else played. The Super Bowl was played in the NFC Championship game because whoever won that game dominated the Super Bowl. And that was the case between the Cowboys and Niners. Unfortunately, the Cowboys had the upper hand, more games than the Niners, and it was frustrating. Girls, the Niners would have had at least 7 Super Bowls, if not 8, if it wasn't for those Cowboys. But I do like Cowboys. Yeah, but I do like I love the triplets now that they're not playing. They're playing us. Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin. I love players individually. A lot of people are like, man, how can you like Cowboys? I don't like the Cowboys of now when they're playing and when they play us, but I don't have nothing against positional players. I mean, they're players that play best. I just don't like the ones that talk a lot, but that's what they do. You know what I mean? So I like individual players. With that said, let me get into this question to you girls. Who is your all-time? And I'll ask Angelina first. Who is your all-time favorite 49er player? And who is your favorite non-49er football player?
Ooh, okay. My favorite 49er player, I have to go with Patrick Willis.
Okay.
Like, no comparison. Just overall as a human, as a player on the field, dominance. Obviously, he was one of their star players as I was coming up as a 49er fan. And my favorite non-49er player, damn, I'm like, should I pick an old one or a current one?
Anyone.
I'm going to have to go, dude, this is going to be, I might get some flack for this, but Clay Matthews.
Okay. You like the... Now, you liked him because you...
That hair.
The hair... Or was
yes,
it his
I like
skill
the hair.
set?
I like the way he played. I loved when the 49ers would play him. I would love watching him just because he goes all out every single game. Watching the years with Kaepernick and watching him and Kaepernick go at it, like those are some of the best football memories I have. So, I was like, I don't know how old I was when I started liking him, but he's a good looking dude too. So he just had it all. I've just always been a big Clay Matthews gal.
I'll take your word for that, personally. But okay, since you're a big Clay Matthews fan, who was his uncle, and what position did his uncle play in for what team?
Oh, I ain't in that deep.
Come on, but you like?
I know his brother. I know his brother.
No, his uncle. We're going old school. Not his brother.
Who's his uncle? You're just full of like fun facts,
like history lessons over here.
Yeah,
you're gonna get that from my. I'm trying.
Do you know stuff?
No, I don't.
Okay, I don't feel that done then.
Okay. He played for the Houston Oilers. Do you guys remember that team? You know what team that is now?
I remember. I obviously I know of them, but like I don't think I ever saw them play. Like they were that.
Do you know
right?
what that team is? No. Who that team is now?
Dude, my guess would be the Texans.
The Houston Oilers? Nope.
The Steelers.
If you don't know, you got to throw. You figure if you're guessing quite a bit, you might just hit one of them.
Right. If I say every team.
There you go. Is it the Ravens?
No. The Ravens were the old Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
Yeah, they were the old Cleveland Browns. Did you know that?
No.
I know
that the Ravens. I know the Ravens used to be another team before.
Yeah, they were the original Cleveland Browns, original dog pound. They moved Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Can you give me a hint?
um, I'm hesitating because I can't think of his first name, but he played for the Oilers. Um, oh my goodness, you would think if I'm going to ask a question, I should be prepared to answer it, right?
Oh wait, but did you say who the Oilers became?
Oh, the Texans. I mean the Texans, the
Oh,
the Titans.
I was like, I got it right. Oh, the Titans.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Sorry.
Oh, that makes
Uh,
sense with
eh,
the colors. Now that I think about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. But no, I don't know Clay Matthews' uncle.
If let's see if the viewers can. I can't. I know Moses is old school like me, so Moses will know. And I'm not gonna Google it. I hate googling things. I rather um, see if anybody can bring up what was his first name. I know he was a guard or tackle. Excuse me. He played tackle, but the great Hall of Famer. So is Clay. I can't think of his. I'll see if it comes back to me. But he did play for the Oilers. Um, the Baltimore Colts. Yeah, those were the old. Those are the Colts now. They used to be in Baltimore. Yeah, people are going to start
Okay.
coming out with
There you go.
old school. Yeah, it's funny how when people like certain teams, I like to ask. Do you remember if they were originally from the city they play at? And a lot of them like, were they
It's
like?
tough to keep up.
Yeah, yeah. Like since you're a Giants fan, the Giants were not originally from San Francisco, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I do
All right.
know that.
Okay. But
Yeah, and
Bruce
they also
Matthews,
this
thank you,
season.
CJ.
Oh, Bruce.
Bruce
That
Matthews.
dude, Clay Matthews' uncle would be named Bruce. Like that's perfect.
Yeah, big. I mean, yeah, he made Matthew look like a peewee.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, yeah. But the linemen are bigger than linebackers, of course. Thank you,
Yeah.
CJ. I know CJ looked it up on Google, bro, but thank you anyway. I
Well,
love
now I
CJ.
want to hear Steph's.
Okay, so favorite 49er, probably Joe Staley, with Frank Gore
Mm,
being a very close second. But I say Staley
Good
just
choices.
because, on top of him just being an
okay.
All-Pro, I think he also had a great personality. I mean, he still has a great personality, and I think he was a great leader for the team. He was a 49er for nearly as long as I'd been a fan of the team, so it's like
Yeah.
it still bums me out that we weren't able to get a ring for him and Gore.
Yes.
Pain. Um, but yeah, that's probably my favorite. As far as non 49er, I'm going to say, okay, I kind of have two for this one too. And I would say Tom Brady. I always liked Tom Brady for the fact that he was from the Bay Area. I
Yes.
know a lot
Yeah.
of a lot of people hate him, I know, but it's like he's such a legend, and
Dude, yeah.
at a certain point you have to respect him and what he's been able to accomplish. And I think a close second would be like Troy Polamalu.
Troy Palmer. Oh yeah, you
Fun.
can't forget about him and his hair, right? Did from his
Yeah.
hair commercials.
Also
Um,
great hair, yeah.
you know, those are great choices. Honestly, both of them. I'm a pick. I love Patrick Willis. I have his autographed picture here next to Navarro Bowman. I think those two guys were amazing together.
Yeah.
My 49er all-time player is Brian Young. I love Brian Young, BY, and Barry Sanders. So he's been a running back from Detroit, all-time rushing leader in football. So let me ask you guys another question. I'll ask Steph this one first. What was your most favorite game, Niner game, that you watched ever, whether it's on TV or in person? But it was just ultimately the best game. Your number one favorite game.
Okay. There's like a few like swirling through my head right now. Okay. I mean, obviously one of the ones that comes to mind is the Saints Niners game with Alex Smith scoring that touchdown at the end.
That was beautiful, yes.
Yeah, and yeah, and the other one would probably be the pick at the stick, the final home game at Candlestick.
Ugh. My friend was there. I'm so jealous.
Oh, especially with
I was
the
there.
interception with Navarro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, that stadium went.
Chills.
That
Gave
stadium
me
went.
chills.
Yeah, that stadium went
It was
wild, and we
insane.
needed that win too. That year, so that was a
Yep.
very good memory game. And I'm gonna ask Angelina the same question.
Yeah. Mine is the 2012 divisional game against the Packers when Colin Kaepernick broke the rushing record for a quarterback in the playoffs. Not
Awesome.
only like, even if I wasn't from Turlock, that would probably be the game that I would pick. But being from Turlock and Colin being from Turlock and the way that the town was going crazy, and we were all supporting him, and my Niners were kicking ass, so it was just like a great time to be alive, a great time to be a Niner fan, great time to be from Turlock. And I have some really happy memories of that 2012 postseason, other than the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's a. I remember that game. I mean, he ran. Clay Matthews was not too happy
Dude,
after
I know.
that particular game. One of my favorite games, that it was my very first game watching in person, and that was the Niners versus the Cowboys, where Dwight Clark caught the ball, and we called it what we known to call the catch. I was on the opposite side of Candlestick Park in that game, and one of the trophies, we all have our different trophies of what we like about the 49ers, whether it's autographed stuff, pictures with players. One of the things that I hold dear to my heart is I got the opportunity to go and watch all 5 Super Bowls in person and watch them win all 5 other
Wow.
Super
Oh, wow.
Bowls in the stadium
That's
they played in,
amazing.
and that's something that I hold dearly
Wow.
to myself. And then I watched every parade in San Francisco take place. So that's something as a child, you can't, man. That's something that I hold dearly, man. I kind of wish I can go back there. I want Super Bowls to be won really badly, like for you guys to watch all the younger generation. I know a lot of the old school generations are like, oh, let the Niners develop, let the Niners get better with draft picks, and we'll have plenty of time to win. And I can understand a lot of the young fan base like, no, we want to win now. We're tired of losing. We want to experience that Lombardi Trophy. We want to experience that parade in San Francisco, whether we watch it on TV or not. And I understand that two different aspects, and this is why when we went to the Super Bowl against, especially the one against the Ravens, that was a tougher one because we had to come back to almost win that game, thanks to the blackout. But
Yeah.
yeah, who would have known, right? But the one hurts me the most is the Kansas City game, because we were dominating for fourth quarters. People say fourth quarter. We were dominating into the 7-minute mark of the fourth quarter when we just laid an egg, man. Imagine, I don't want to go there again, but imagine that feeling that you felt, the way we were dominating. It looked like that game was nothing's for certain to the clock goes zero, obviously. But that game, the way we were playing, the way the defense was playing, it looked man, it was a game over type of thing, and you can't give Patrick Mahomes any life, and we did, bro. And I'm, man, it's, for you guys not to be able to enjoy that, it's a heartbreaker. It breaks it for me. But I got to see Steve Young lift up the Lombardi. I got to see Joe Montana do the same. I got to see the excitement of winning. And so I'm spoiled in that area. I want a lot of the younger ones to get that feeling, that same desire of knowing how it is to win a Lombardi. And hopefully it will happen in the next few years. But I still think Kyle Shanahan is the right coach. I just think Kyle Shanahan needs to get out of his own way and not put so much on his plate. I think Kyle tries to do too much, and when he does that, he is less effective than when he puts less things on his plate and just focus on the game planning. You see the results. Look at what he did against the Rams. Look what he did against the Jaguars. And I keep hating to hear it's just the Jaguars. It doesn't matter. It's an NFL team. Anything. Talk to the Titans about the Texans. Talk about the Bills who lost to the Jags. Okay. So anything can happen on any given Sunday. You still have to go in there and win the game. And they win it. They won it decisively. And that's Kyle getting back to what he does best. It's not worrying about so much other stuff and just worrying about the game. And as long as Kyle can do that, Kyle can be a very good coach. A lot of people, when I heard people say, we need to fire Coach Kyle, I'm like, what are you talking? Those are emotions. Those are, I mean, you're in your feelings. Now, do you want to hold him accountable? Yes. Has he made some bonehead plays? Yes. Hold him accountable. Get mad at him. But if you fire him, who are you going to replace him with? You honestly want to go through the Jim Tonsulas again? The Chip Callys? The Mike Nolans?
Exactly.
I don't know about you girls. I don't want to go through that again.
Please, God, no.
No. No way. And people don't realize, you get rid of Kyle, he'll get a job quick somewhere else. And if we don't find the right coach, we're going to go through years of not watching a Super Bowl again. So please, I tell people, please be careful what you ask for, because when you don't have it anymore, then you're regretting. Well, we should have kept him. Kyle's a good coach. He's made some bonehead plays, especially this year. Yes, hold him accountable. But look at when Kyle's at his best, like against Sean McVay had no answer. Okay. Their defensive coordinator had no answer for Kyle. The Jaguar, did you see on the game against the Jaguars, did you see Brandon Ayuk with his hand on the dirt? Did you see that one play where he had his hand on the dirt? He's a receiver and he had his hand on the dirt like a freaking guard.
Okay. I didn't see that.
No,
That's
I missed that.
And then he had Debo as a running back in that particular series, and then he had Juszczyk as a I forgot. It was just the formation was crazy.
He had Trent
Williams as a wide receiver.
Yeah. He does all this crazy stuff that just blows out coordinators, defensive coordinator. This is what Kyle does, and Kyle's a genius at it. He just needs to get out of his own way and not trying to do too much. But firing him or getting rid of him is not the answer, as a lot of Niner fans want it. Because honestly, let me ask you, girls, can you name one coach out there that is available that can take over for Kyle?
I mean, I'm sure if I sat down and I might come up with some ideas, but no one that I probably would want over Kyle. And I'm really glad that we never said on our podcast to fire him. Like, that's kind of like a badge of honor for me. I'm like,
that's good. Yeah.
We had him on the hot seat. We had questions, but God, no, like exactly what you said. We've been through it all as Niner fans when it comes to head coaches. And like, if you can't realize that we have a good coach, then I don't know.
Exactly. Like you said, you had him on the hot list, and he's entitled to be on the hot list, on the hot seat, especially the way he's been, the last few games. But you're right. To fire him, it's, that's just a little too emotional. Well, you guys are fun to have and enjoy. You guys, I'm going to ask you guys a couple more questions if you don't mind. And then I'm going to have the fan base ask you guys a couple of questions, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Are you guys okay with it? Are you guys, how's your time?
Yeah.
We're good.
Okay, good. And then I'm going to open it up for the viewers to ask you. The viewers love to get involved. They love to ask questions, and I love them to get involved as well. So those that are watching, get your questions ready for Angelina Martin and Steph Sanchez, and make it hard questions. Let's make this girl sweat a little bit. Okay? No, I'm just kidding.
No history questions, please.
I know.
Yeah. I don't know all the players' uncles. I'm sorry.
No worry. I love history, and part of me, and not just with the Niners, but all teams. I have gotten into debates with Raider fans, Cowboy fans, Seahawks fans, and then I started asking questions about history, about their own team. And if a person's just a fan, I won't go hard. Okay, you're just a fan. I can, but when they start trying to corner me, or they try to talk smack, and or try to pull out their chest because they're fans of a certain team, and I start getting into the history about their team, Not my team, their team. Half of the stuff I ask, they don't even know. I'm like, and it doesn't have to be young fans either. These can be fans my age. They don't know the history of their team. You know what I mean? And everybody's different stages. Now, people that don't know that much history of their own team, it's okay as long as they're not out there trash talking as much. They just love the football. I'm okay with that. I'm talking about those that like to trash talk and don't know that much about their team. That's kind of a little bit of embarrassment for me. So get, ladies and gentlemen, get your questions ready. So one of the questions I want to ask you too, and I'll go ahead and ask Angelina first, is anybody on your family tree, mainly like your dad, mom, or that don't like the Niners? And if they like another team, which team is it?
No, luckily everyone that likes sports in my family likes the Niners. I mean, my uncle is an A's fan and the rest of my family is Giants fans. So he's kind of the odd one out. But my boyfriend is a Raiders fan.
What?
So yeah, we
and
live together. So I get to, no, but listen, he can probably hear me right now, but I get to watch him watch the Raiders games, and it's almost better than like me having fun watching the Niner games, because especially this season, like they started out so good and people were like, Derek Carr is going to be MVP. And now it's just like crumbling and burning. And I like want to feel bad, but I have to laugh because this happens to him every year. And I feel so bad. So, other than my boyfriend, no, everyone's Niner fans. So, but it's a pretty interesting and fun dynamic with him. I don't really mind the Raiders. Like, I'm not one of those Niner fans that hates the Raiders. I'm more, like you said, screw the Cowboys and the Seahawks, so I don't really have a problem with the Raiders. I think they're fun to watch. I think it's even more fun to watch him watch the Raiders.
Wow. Before I let Steffi answer, I have nothing against the Raiders either. It's just Al Davis. The way he ran that team towards the end. Great in his younger years, being the commissioner, him being the commissioner and everything he did for the NFL was amazing. But just towards the end, man, he was terrible. But it's sad to hear about, the coach, that's self-inflicted. Well, the Ruggs is self-inflicted as well, but it's tough to kind of handle the two blows like that and not affect your team. It messes once the locker room gets messed with, and it can go down quick. And that's what unfortunately what we're seeing with the Raiders, because they did have potential. They were playing strong.
I know they were good,
and it's like they barely were able to overcome the Gruden situation. But and
then
Ruggs, it was kind of like that extra shot. Like they just hasn't able to recover, and it's tough.
It would be like if Deebo Samuel went down, did that on the Niners. It's their best offensive player. I know, knock on wood. Deebo would never. Oh my God, he's an angel. But yeah,
I hope so.
So, yeah.
Yeah, he was looking at this video. If he does, he's like, "Yeah, right." Steph, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead. What's your answer?
I kind of forgot the question. If
I like that.
Okay,
so did I. So I was hoping. I
mean, aside from like distant,
good job, Steph.
more distant cousins, then most of them are 49er fans. But I have some cousins that lived in the East Bay, and they're Raiders fans. But I also don't have any beef with the Raiders or Raiders fans, really. It's actually like I get more annoyed by like the shit talking fans, like you were talking about earlier. And there's a lot of those on the Raiders side that hate the 49ers on both sides, honestly.
Correct. Yeah, you got a lot of Niner fans that are annoying.
I am not worried about the Raiders. Like they're in the AFC. Like what?
Exactly.
What business do we have worrying about them? And it's just so dumb. But yeah, most of my family is 49ers fans.
Okay. Yeah. See, the majority of my family are Raider fans. And so I'm with you on that. Although I do get half of my family already gone. They're no longer here with me, but My wife's a Niner fan, and I'm blessed for that. I can handle her being a Giants fan. I don't really care about. I mean, I even root for the Giants, like when the A's are not playing. But
Yeah.
I don't know if she would have been although she would have been any other team, I would have. It would have been fun competition. I wouldn't disrespect her for loving the team the way I love mine. But I'm glad she liked the Niners. Now she'll feel the first one to tell you she doesn't really know too much about the team. She just loves the team. She was in love with Joe Montana.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, Joe Montana. Yeah, I'm like, well, Jennifer wasn't that bad either. So there you go. His Joe Montana's wife, in case you don't know who Jennifer is. But so as I let the faithful ask you guys questions, I'm pretty sure they have better questions than me. And they said don't try to bring history in it. So if you guys have any questions for these two lovely guests of mine tonight, what are
I
they?
saw a comment from Moses. He's like, who had 2 90+ yard touchdowns versus the Rams? I'm like,
What?
skip.
It wasn't Jerry Rice.
Like, that's so, I don't know.
You know who Jerry Rice teammate receiver was back in the day? Because if you know who his teammate was, who was the number 2 receiver back then when Jerry played, that would be the answer.
I wasn't alive.
Was it not Isaac? Was it not Isaac Bruce? Didn't he play for the
I'm
Niners?
just kidding. I was alive.
Yeah, no, I know. But no, Isaac Bruce did play, I think, a year or 2, if I'm not mistaken. John Taylor.
Okay.
Oh,
John Taylor. Now
there you go.
Now I'm not 100% on the 90 yard. That still can be Jerry, but Taylor to me had the most yards. Correct me if I'm wrong, Moses. Was it Taylor or was it Jerry? Well, it should be neither. It goes to knowing my history, huh? But yeah. So that's a good question, Moses. Now we try to keep it non-history. Okay.
Idiots.
Some people, like I said, some people know their history, some people don't, but it doesn't take away from you loving your football team the way you do. You know what I mean? And then let's keep it real. There's history, and then there's history. Okay, so there's history within your time, and then there's history before your time. So, like in 1963, who was, you'll be like,
But there are some young fans that do know all that.
those are
go
hall
back
monitors
and study
in their schools.
Yeah,
Those are we like to call hall monitors. Okay,
that's funny.
If they know that type of history. I'm sorry. I have a friend of mine. He hates it when I'm calling a hall monitor. He's a correction officer, and I have to say correction officer because technically they're cops. I say guard, and he gets offended. He might be watching. He's one of my co-hosts on my other show, the NWA. But yeah, whenever he's by the book. I mean, this guy's by the book and smart guy, makes a really good living. Owns a lot of houses and smart guy, but hall monitor.
Hall monitor
for sure, man. So let's see here. Angelina, Steph, should I apply for the Niners D-back coach position?
Hey, if what our new friend here tells us is true, hell yeah, brother. Apparently you're the guru, yeah.
He shouldn't. I mean, he should do it. Just kidding, Moses. Come on, bring those questions. You guys make Luke Luna Taylor. Yeah, I thought it was John Taylor, but I wasn't 100% certain. I was like 99.9. You notice my confidence came back now that they answered John Taylor, right? Yeah. 99.9.
I have a question. I have a question for you. You said you like cars.
Yes.
So, if Jimmy Garoppolo was a car, what kind of car would he be?
Good question.
Sarcastically, I would call him a Volvo.
Okay.
What kind of car would Jimmy be?
Volvos are dependable.
Yeah, no, then he's not a Volvo. I guess Jimmy would be a Ford, right?
I feel like that's
The older
fair. What
Ford.
kind of Ford though?
Yeah. Cause I
Yeah.
own a Ford too.
He's not a Mustang.
They're not bad
I have a
Fords
Ford
anymore.
Focus. I have a Ford Focus. It's got a little zip. It it can't go very far.
It sounds like you're describing Mac Jones.
Yeah.
I know.
Who's
Well,
basically Jimmy Garoppolo.
I was about to say.
Yeah,
Mac Jones.
really. 2.0. You know, a Ford Focus, it wouldn't be that bad. It's dependable when you need it. Doesn't have that
Right.
extra push. So yeah, Ford Focus would be a very prime.
Yeah, throw a
and,
V6 in there and you're ready to go.
and if you're gonna ask me about Trey Lance, this kid, I don't know what he is now, but what he has the potential to be is definitely a Ferrari.
That's what I was gonna say.
This guy has speed. He's quick, he's smart. And if he becomes what I think he'll be, we'll make him a convertible Ferrari, kind of like one of those nice red convertible Ferraris. Definitely
And
something
like
to look at.
he's just swaggy, with like the tattoos and the chain, and like a Ferrari is very cool and looking flashy. So I like that comp.
He is. He's very confident. His brother's a receiver, and his brother's kind of taking over his school, and he's doing very, very good. I love I wanted Trey Lance to be drafted that far. The Niners. That was my guy. If we were going to go quarterback, now I did not expect to jump from 12 to 3 the way we did.
For
and
him.
I thought that maybe he would fall to 12. I was hoping he would, but then when we moved up, I was like, this is the guy we should take. A lot of my friends are like Justin Fields. I like Justin Fields. I don't know your thoughts on Justin Fields. I like him. I like what he brings to the table from Ohio State, but I just think that we're going to see if Trey Lance plays out to be the type of quarterback that I think he would based on what I've seen him done in college, the way he studies, the way he learns quickly. I mean, he was running an all-pro offense over there in college. So this guy's going to be incredible. Moses real quick says, Jimmy G is an Oldsmobile. Wow, okay. You call him a station wagon.
Or what about like what do like the mafia drive? Because he's Italian.
What do they drive?
Don't they drive like Oldsmobile reminded me, like, I don't know why, but
I know they drive Cadillac.
Cadillac. Yeah.
Cadillac, DeVille's.
Yes.
DeVille's, yeah. He's an Italian. He's an Italian stallion, huh?
Yeah,
he's not Rocky, that's for sure.
No.
He's not Rocky. Come on, guys. I need questions. We're not going to keep them forever. I know they're young, but they got other things to do. So Moses says, Angelina and Steph, who's the best safety tandem Niners have had? So he's talking about past, present, in your opinion.
Oh man. One of the one that comes to mind immediately is Dante Whitner, but right now I can't even remember who played alongside him. Could someone help me out?
Dante Whitner?
Deshaun Goldson. I had to look it up.
Yeah.
I saw that. So I saw that in the I saw that one in the comments, and I was already thinking of my answer, and definitely Whitner was one of them. And I have like the worst memory. So like, even though I remember these players in that time, I'm like, so I probably look like the worst fan, but it's just it's just not always there,
Well,
So
I'm glad you're looking that up. I thought you guys were talking to each other by text and saying, this guy's so boring. I can't wait to get off his show.
Oh, no, and I'm sorry.
No, my sister texted me. She's like, why aren't you texting me back? I'm like,
both of you guys were looking down at the same time. I'm like, oh, shoot, this is not a good sign.
I didn't even notice Angie looking. But also my cats were like, screwing around back here. So sorry, I had to like...
No, I'm just kidding.
And handle them really quickly.
No, but Dante Hittner and Deshaun Goldson, like that was those were the days. And of course, Steph and I would say that because I mean we've talked about how long we've been fans and what teams we've watched. So I mean those two obviously come to mind immediately.
When you say Dante, and it's funny you say that. You guys watch the Joe Staley and Laura Britt show, right? When you hear him talk, does he talk like he's a hard hitting safety?
No,
Is
he's
that
just
he has that
He has
he has
like
that
a
little
kind of high pitched voice, a little bit.
kind of like soft little voice, and I'm like, this guy doesn't look like he would hit as hard as he did. He was a hard hitter.
I know.
This guy was.
He would be in trouble if he played today. Like he would be getting
fans would hate him because he'd just get flagged.
Yeah.
Every hit flag.
It's like it's crazy how much has changed because I would get juiced when I saw him just smack the shit out of someone like helmet to helmet and knock them off their ass. Yeah, and like that was like everything to me. And now even myself, I've changed so much. I see that now and I know the ramifications of it and everything with CTE, and it's like, oh God, like why are you doing that? And so I still love to see a hard hit though, but
Ronnie and I would have never even been able to suit up. No.
Yeah. No.
Steve Atwater and Ronnie Lott, those guys would have never suited up.
The NFL with the taunting and some of the rules that they've put in place, I disagree with a lot of them, but that is one rule that I'm glad that they've put in place, and I'm glad that they've shown that they care about the health of the players.
Good. Luke Luna says that he goes, nah, Lance is more like a 69 Chevy Camaro. He's fast, high power, tough. He's not a Ferrari. Don't like that comp. Excuse me, Mr. Luke Luna. I said I like him as a Ferrari. But no, it's all good. I see that macho 69 Chevy Camaro. Those but you can't go wrong with either one. Those are both powerful cars. But I can see that American car. What's up, JBX? Welcome to the stream. So we are asking these lovely guests. We are asking them questions. Please bring up some questions. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to let them go.
Is this trivia?
Trivia. I love. That's the one here. Which Niner has the most playoff road wins? Ooh,
playoff.
Wow, I would have to Google that one up. Which Niner has the most playoff road wins? Which Niners? Are you talking about what year Niner? Because there's only one Niners. Or what Niner quarterbacks? Excuse me.
QB, yeah.
I didn't see that. My apology, JBX. QB, stupid. But QB, ooh, that's a good one.
I feel like it's going to be someone that like we wouldn't guess. Is that weird?
I'm going to guess Kaepernick.
That was going to be my guess, but because it was 2 years in a row that they went all the way, 2 years in a row they were at the NFC Championship game, but they didn't win the second year. So it's like
road playoffs. That's interesting. I was thinking more like Jeff Garcia.
That was my second guess.
But Tim Rattay. I don't even think Tim Rattay played in the playoff game. But now, okay, what's your guess there, Steph?
Oh, no.
Oh, my guess was Kaepernick.
Oh, yours was Kaepernick. Angelina was, did you say Kaepernick as well? Did we lose her?
She said, oh, no, so I don't know if something happened to her audio. We can see her, though.
I can't hear you guys.
Oh, she can't hear us.
I think my AirPods died.
See, that's what happens when you keep somebody over an hour. My apologies. Angelina, she was like, Dark Garnet? It was supposed to be 30 minutes. Didn't he get the memo? I'm sorry.
No, our podcast goes over an hour every week, basically. So,
well, I'm unscripted. I don't like script. I know a lot of people like scripted, and it's nice because you're definitely more, when you're scripted, you're point to point to point, and you start and you end at a certain time. I like to free, just, sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. Let's see, she's back. She's smart, though. She's just keeping that smile on, though, right? When she comes back, let's move our lips and not say nothing. No, just kidding.
Oh,
I
wait,
don't know
she
if she
just
can. She
texted.
might hear us, but oh no, she said she couldn't hear us. No.
Disconnect your
I,
AirPods.
yeah,
Maybe.
either that or
She just texted me. Yeah, she said she can't hear us.
do me a favor. Okay, let her know by text that I'm gonna. She
We
can
can
exit
hear
the
you.
live, and then she can pop back in.
No.
Because I would hate to end the show
can't.
without her.
I don't know what
hearing.
happened.
That's so weird because we can hear her.
Yeah, we can hear. Her. Yeah, fine. You're gonna have to be her ear, Steph. Just kidding. Text her everything we talked about, right?
I know, right? Just get her answers.
He
through
said
text.
the question is. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Jeff Garcia, JBX has to give us the answer. Ding. Cap has the most with 3. Oh, Steph.
We were right.
I turned off all my my sound effects. But yeah, that's my glass. I like to do a lot of beer.
Oh no, I
salute.
can't hear her at all. No.
You know, let her. Do you think if I exit her out, she'll come back in, or you think she'll just stay out?
Yeah, I'll tell her.
Now we're gonna get split for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we apologize for technical difficulty. Hopefully, when she pops right back in, she'll be fine. And then yes, I'm definitely gonna have them give that towards the end. I like to do that towards the end so people can wait towards the end of the show.
Keeping it suspenseful.
Well, yeah, because you do it from the beginning. It's like, okay, I got my information. I'm moving on. What's up, JR Matthews? How you doing?
Around.
So she goes back. How long have you guys been doing the podcast together? And whose idea was it?
We started this off season. I mean, it was kind of Javi's idea. I mean, for those of you who aren't aware, he did put together the 49ers Goldmine website. Some of you might know. And yeah, he just basically thought it would be a good idea to have like a female ran podcast. And I think he approached Angie first, and then Leo Luna. I don't know if you guys know him. He was also one of the people that kind of started Goldmine as well, and he approached me and asked if I wanted to, be part of the podcast with Angie. And we met via Zoom to kind of see, if we had any like chemistry, and yeah, we did. So it kind of it worked out, and I'd never done a podcast before, or like I was never really doing content creation kind of thing, and so it was all kind of new to me. So unlike you, I do script out every episode because I can't freestyle a podcast as good as you.
Stop.
But yeah, we've basically been doing it since the off season. I think our first episode might have been in like June or something like that.
Okay.
And yeah, so we did monthly episodes like up until the season started, and then when the season started, we did weekly. So yeah, it's been really fun, and it's nice to grow organically and fans learning about us and becoming fans of our show. It's pretty cool.
Okay, sorry about that. My wife had popped
Angie
in.
did text. She said, "Oh, no worries."
Luke Luna, I don't know. I apologize for missing your
browser.
question.
So she is trying
to come back in.
So she said, it's saying allow access to her, like it's asking her for access to her mic and camera, and she did allow access, and it still won't work. So I don't know if that's something with her browser or her.
Do you know she's using? Like well, she made it in the first time. She shouldn't be the browser, because otherwise she would have had this problem even before the first time she came in. But ask her, is she using Chrome or is she using Safari or what other browser? Chrome is the best. I find the best to be worked with Ecamm. I don't know if, but Luna, I don't know if this is the question you were asking. I apologize. If let me know if the one that I have on the screen is the one that you wanted to ask. If it's let me see if I'm not in trouble. Give me 1 second. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if she's gonna be able to come back on. She's trying, but
Oh well, I do let her know I do apologize. I'll go ahead and we can always end the show, and then we can always do another show. 'Cause I really enjoyed both of you, Steph. I really enjoyed Angelina meeting you guys. You guys are awesome. If maybe you can ask, I think you're very familiar with Angelina now, so you can probably answer this question on her behalf. But Luke Luna asked a question. He wanted to know where you guys were from.
yeah, so Angie's from Turlock, California, and I am originally from the Bay Area. So I had lived all my life in the Bay Area. I actually just moved to Colorado like a few months ago.
Oh, okay.
So I'm now in Colorado. But before then, I was in Daly City, and I also lived in Alameda a bit. So, yeah, new
You're
here to
among Bronco
Colorado. So,
fans. Oh my god, you must see Broncos everywhere.
my girlfriend's a Broncos fan.
Oh, is she?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's from Colorado. So, uh,
Okay.
but again, I have no issues with AFC teams. Like, I don't mind them.
Yeah,
An extra team to root for, I guess.
you know, the only thing like I said I dislike is the Seattle Seahawks and the Cowboys back from the 80s and 90s, and the Seahawks just because they have beaten us all this time over and over again, always having a hard time. You know, the way we have the Rams number seems the Seattle has our number. No matter how bad, like people are like, this might be the year that we beat again Seattle in Seattle, but I'm like, listen, I don't care how bad Seattle's playing or what the record is. Whenever they play us good. And Russell Wilson, I'm hoping, I don't know about you, Steph, before I let you go, I'm hoping that Trey Lance becomes to the Seattle Seahawks fans what Russell Wilson has become to us. That quarterback that right when you think you have him in the grasp, right when you think that you're about to take him down, he escapes like Houdini and throws a 40-yard bomb to Lockett and for a big play. And how many of those plays have we seen where you just about to take him down? Alden Smith was always one that always had him at his grasp, and he will get out like Houdini, and that's just what he does. Love him as a person. I love his beliefs. I love his work ethics. I just don't like him as a quarterback, especially when he plays against us for Seattle. Moses says Turlock is like 2 hours from. Yeah, you're from Fresno, so she's closer to me, Moses. So she's about 20 minutes, 25 minutes away. 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's really close.
Yeah. She's. My dentist is in Turlock, so when I go to see my dentist, and my wife's like, "Can't you get something closer?" I'm like, "No, I'm real picky when it comes to dentists. I don't let just anybody, just because you're a dentist."
Yeah, I hear that. I hate going to dentists. So.
Yeah, me too. I don't cavities or a wisdom tooth pulled, or I hear that needle. Oh yeah. Oh. Don't like it. You might not feel nothing, but you're just hearing it. It cringes me. You know what I mean? Just hearing the noise. Because they might numb your teeth, but they don't, sometimes I like to put just a headset on and just listen to music. But then again, I'm the type of person I have to watch what they're doing or listen. So I can't do that either. But anyway, it's been over an hour. I don't script. I know I need to learn how to script things more because even when you freestyle, it's nice, but sometimes it can get away from you. And something that can be good my wife tells me this all the time, can start dragging out, and when it drags out, it doesn't become fun anymore, and it becomes like a nuisance. And that's something that I'm trying to learn myself as a young content creator as well. That if you have script and you have your PowerPoints, then you know when you're going to start and when you're going to finish, and you know you're going to keep it pretty much interesting in a certain bracket. When you freestyle it, you know what I mean? If it's really, really good, it's great. If it's not, people are like, is this guy going to get off the show? Is he going to, is there going to be a blackout in this area? Please get him off. So the fact that you guys script, and I've been watching you guys' show. Let me tell you, Steph, you and Angelina do an amazing job. I'm very proud of you guys.
Oh, thank you.
I love what you guys do. I've learned. I watch a few of your videos. You guys are funny. You guys bring everything up to date. You guys keep it real. You're not biased. I love that. You love your Niners, but you're going to speak how you feel. And so I love that, man. So I wish you guys the best. Before we go, please let everybody watching now, or whoever watches on the replay, how they can tune into your channel, because I want them to enjoy what I've been enjoying so far, which is your podcast.
Yeah, definitely. And we're trying to get our YouTube subscribers up. So if you guys could go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube, youtube.com/Stragosaurus. That is STRAGO Saurus. And our Twitters, my Twitter is at Stragosaurus as well, spelled the exact same way. And Angie's Twitter is at Ange Writes, so ANGE Writes. And our podcast Twitter is 49K Pod. So go ahead, follow us, subscribe, and yeah, hopefully, we gained a few new listeners from here. I see you've got a lot of consistent watchers or viewers this whole time, so I don't think you're very boring.
Well, I appreciate that. I just pay them very well. They're just a bunch of people that I just randomly paid.
Actors.
But no, I started, before I let you go, I started on Facebook. I have about 80,000 followers on Facebook. They don't make the same transition over to YouTube, let me tell you. But Facebook's more like a group where people just put pictures, and they, it's nothing like YouTube. YouTube's different, and I'm trying to build my YouTube as well. So I'm definitely going to pass the word out. I'm going to put it in my Facebook page. I'm going to be letting people know about your YouTube channel for it to continue to grow, because you guys do bring great content. I love seeing two women empowered by the team they love, doing what they love, and talking about sports. We need to have more women doing this, and knowing that women they know their stuff as well. And so you guys are amazing. You guys definitely have great chemistry together. You guys feed off each other. I seen it, and I love that. You guys never over talk one another. So that's amazing. It's hard when you have a co-host. You have to find the right one. Otherwise, there can be issues. And you guys definitely. So kudos to Hobby for putting you guys together, man. But you're the ones that make it. Send me some tacos. I don't think so, bro. If I'm gonna have some tacos, I'm gonna eat them, not send them. But yeah. Luke Luna says real quick, keep power on, so. Definitely, ladies, thank you for joining me. Angelina, if you're watching, my apologies. I don't know what happened. Sorry for that. I don't know if it was on my side or your side, but if it was on my side, I apologize for my part of it. Steph, once again, thank you. Maybe down the line, I would love to bring you guys on, and maybe for that one, I'll script it and I'll keep it within a certain time length, so that I don't have to sit here and drag you guys on like tonight. But thank you for coming on. It was very fun, enjoyable, and I'm definitely going to be promoting your YouTube channel, and let's get your YouTube channel growing.
Right on. Thank you so much for having us. And yeah, we'll definitely have to do this again. And with no technical issues, I don't think it was your fault at all. I think Angie just had some issues. So yeah, we'll definitely have to do this again. And thanks again for having us.
No worries. And go ahead and stay on the line for a little bit. I'll be right with you. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys are amazing. Appreciate every one of you. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your commitment to the Niner Sickness podcast. This was Angelina Martin, Steph Sanchez. Check out their YouTube channel. They're fun. They know their stuff. And they bring great 49er content. Until the next pod, I am your boy Niner Sickness. Peace and God bless. And okay, you got to love that. I've been changing my computer.